Hey there, everybody. How you doing? This is Rich Harshaw, CEO of Level 10 Contractor. Thanks for joining me for this webinar today. We've got about a minute or two until go time, so we will wait in dead silence as we wait for the webinar to start. Going to talk about how to absolutely dominate local search in less than 12 months. This is a great topic, something I'm very passionate about, so I'm excited to share this with you. Talk to you momentarily. If you would like to ask questions, please do so in the questions thingy-majigger that is on the webinar console. I don't really know what it's called, but you can ask questions there. If you'd like to try, you can either ask a question now, or if you'd like to chat, let me know who you are, name and city, and let's see if we've got anybody actually on here. It says we've got people on here, but let's see if you're actually there. Go ahead and chat. All right, we've got absolutely nobody chatting. That is always fun. There's a few people. All right. Just found the chat button. Wow, this chat is really hard to deal with here. Hey, Marianne, how you doing? Good to see you. Known Marianne for longer than probably anybody on this webinar. Let's see, Haley, Four Seasons Construction, good to see you. Isabella from Pittsburgh, PA. I'm about to do a podcast referring to Pittsburgh here in the next couple days. Going to talk about radio advertising. So listen up for that one, Isabella. Let's see. Dino. Oh, hey, Dino. What's going on, man? Kroll, right? So this will be a review for you guys. Gregory, Kim from Wampanoags, Haley, somebody from Colorado Springs, O'Laughlin, Danny. We got all kinds of people here. Laura, Renee from San Diego, Rhodes, Robert. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get rolling here. Let me make sure that everything is functioning properly. All right. Thank you so much for joining me on this webinar. It's always fun to speak to people. I prefer to speak in person. I will be at the Fast Remodeler Conference in the middle of May in Austin. So if you're going to check out a live event, I'll be there for that. You can hear me talk about a similar topic to what we're going to cover today, but not the same, but very similar. This is my wheelhouse. It is how to absolutely dominate local search in less than 12 months. And if you've heard me talk about this before, it's going to be a good review. If you've not heard me talk about this before, prepare to have your face melted and be blown away, because you're going to learn some stuff here that is really, really cool. So let's do this. I'm going to launch a poll before we get into the sponsors, just to give everybody a second to get here. I'm going to launch poll number one. We're going to have 3 polls today. The first poll is going to ask you, let's see, what is it going to ask you? How well does your website do at generating leads? So go ahead and fill in the poll. Terrible is the first response. Pretty good. All right, we're running neck and neck. 0% so far say great, we get lots of leads. I've got 41% pretty good, down to 39%. 21% terrible, we barely get any organic leads. Just give you about 10 more seconds to vote. All right, most of you have voted. So let's close the poll. And let's see. I'm gonna make sure I know how to do this here. Sorry, I'm kind of a a poll slash webinar, not nerd, so I'm not really good at it. But here's what we came up with. 0% said great. 0%, literally nobody. 32% pretty good. 32% also said okay. I'm sure we could do better. 14% not very good. 21% terrible. We barely get any organic leads. So we're here to fix that. Before we get into the heart of the matter, I do want to introduce you to some of our partners that we work with to promote things like this webinar. Without these partners, there is no webinar. So we're going to take just a second to talk about them. The first company I want you to know about is Structurally. And by the way, I'm going to give you a chance after I go through these 3 partners. I'll tell you a little bit about them. And then I'm going to give you another poll where you can indicate your interest in learning more about these products, and these folks will reach out to you. So if you'll please do me a favor and indicate which of the 3 companies that you would like to learn more about. In fact, I'll go ahead and share the poll right now, and then I'll tell you about them. So the first one is Structurally. This is a company that helps you contact and connect to your leads using AI. Everybody's always talking about AI, and this is the real deal. So here's what it's going to do. It's going to eliminate the need for staff whose job it is to constantly call, text, and email your leads. You're going to let AI do that for you. This company's been around for about 8 years, well, at least perfecting the technology, and they've processed over 10 million leads with a 57% contact rate. Now, I want you to think about what your contact rate is for your leads. 57% is outstanding, 17% average qualified live transfer rate. This is going to work for any kind of remodeler. This is really, really, really cool. If you've been on my podcast before, you've heard me talk about other similar kinds of lead follow-up technology. This is better because it's AI infused. I'm going to give you a phone number. Jot this down. You're going to call this number and you're going to do a demo with this, and you're going to be blown away. 515-516-3061. Okay, 515-516-3061. That's Structurally. This is the real deal. I will go out on a limb and say this: if you do not use this product, yeah, you're kind of dumb. You need to use it. Second, CCN, Certified Contractors Network. I've known these guys for a long time, 20-something years. I've spoken at their events over the years. I've got multiple clients of mine that are members of Certified Contractors Network. What it is, it's a company that provides a comprehensive range of benefits that help you in all aspects of your business, generating more revenue, building better processes, more efficiency, and it's going to help you build generational wealth. This is going to help you build your business better. Working in your business is not what you want to do. You want to be working on your business. They've got all of these events that they do. They've got major events, they've got minor events, they've got online events, all of the different topics that you can think of, from marketing to sales. And one of their strongest points really is this: how to run the operational finance side of your business. I don't want to minimize the marketing and the sales side of things, because they've got a lot of good things to offer there, but this is how you're going to really take your business to the next level. Listen, all of the customers that I have that are with CCN have been with them for a long time, and they absolutely love it. Check it out. You can go look at them at contractor.net, contractors with a S.net. Okay, finally, One Click Contractor. Then we'll get going on the not the podcast, on the webinar. Hey, look, if you want to book out faster, make more money, cut your busy work by 10 hours a week, then here's what you need: One Click Contractor. They give home remodeling professionals digital sales tools needed to help you close more, estimate quickly, save time. They make sales simple, from virtual estimating to custom proposals for financing. Their innovative sales and estimating platform is a full suite of management and productivity tools that gets you from lead to close job in just a few clicks, or more specifically, one click, probably because they're called One Click Contractor, right? This is a great service. You need to look this out. It's very inexpensive to use. This needs to be a part of your tech stack. If you're not using One Click Contractor, go ahead and take a look and check it out right now. You can do that at oneclickcontractor.com. Okay, so let's go to the poll. Let's see what's happening over there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close the poll because you've had plenty of time. Structurally, Certified Contractors Network. Oh, we got a couple more people still voting. Go ahead. Come on. You can do it. Which of these 3 do you want? Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for participating in that. All right, now on to the webinar. This is my funny little poll graphic. We'll skip that. Let's talk about this. Let's get into the heart of the matter here. Let's say you hire a new salesperson. Here's the question I want you to think about. How long do you give a new salesperson before you get frustrated with lack of performance and get rid of them? So think about this. You've got to spend money in many cases just to hire the person going through the recruiting process. Then you definitely have to spend money in terms of training, giving them leads, doing the ride-alongs, all the things you have to do. So here's the question. If you as a company are closing, let's just say 30% for kind of a round number. Hey, if you're closing more than 30%, more power to you. But let's say that your entire team's average is 30%. And you've got this new guy, you hire him, you send him out there, and he is now closing after a week of giving him 10 leads, he closes 10%, not 30%, 10%. How long, will you give him another week leads? About a third week with 10 leads, comes back, closes 10%, 10%, 10%. How long would you give somebody in a sales training, salesperson environment before you say, look, you're fired? And I've asked this question in live seminars, live training events, and usually people say about 3 weeks, and then we're going to get rid of them. If you can't reform them, you can't get their performance better, we're going to get rid of them. Well, okay, that makes sense, and that's kind of what we'd expect. But here's what you don't do, and you're not thinking about. It's the number 27. Well, what's the number 27? Well, here's what the number 27 is. We do website audits. My company, Level 10 Contractor, we do website audits to see how well your website is doing in 3 different areas in terms of showing up on Google, getting ranked, converting web visitors into leads and into customers. And on a 100-point scale, the average score that we see is 27 out of 100. 27 out of 100. What if your kid came home with 27s on their report card? Hey, what'd you get in science? 27. What'd you get in math? 24. What'd you get in social studies? 31. Averages out to 27. Look, if I brought that report card home when I was a kid, I wouldn't be doing this webinar right now because I would literally be dead. My dad would have killed me. I grew up in the 70s and 80s. We were not tolerated to have these kinds of grades. Yet, your website very likely right now is scoring a 27. That's what the averages would tell us. We do hundreds and hundreds of these website audits. The average, we keep track, we tally it, 27. It stays about the same over the last couple of years. It just stays right at 27. And here's the thing. Are you going to do something about that? Well, you say, yeah, I am going to do something about that. I'm going to go to this webinar. I'm going to learn how to do it better. That is the right question. I'm going to show you how to make your website work better today so you can get this score from 27 up to something much higher. This is what the website audit looks like. You can see this one's a 29. It's a little bit above average. There's 3 different areas. One's called signals, getting on the radar. The other one's called ranking. The other one's called conversion. You can see this is a 38-page website with 5 blog pages, no service area pages, 44 total pages. They're scoring 29. This is a website that needs to be fired and started over. It is losing you. Let's run the math here. Where's my calculator? Where'd my calculator go? Oh, there it is. All right, so let's say that your average deal is $15,000 and you give the salesperson 10 leads a week. They're supposed to close 30%. So they're supposed to close $45,000 in business. They only close 10%. They're only closing $15,000. So if they do that 50 weeks a year times $30,000 that they're not getting, that's $1.5 million that an individual salesperson is failing to get you because they're only closing 10% instead of 30%. Now, on your website, if you're scoring 29 or 27 or whatever the case is, here's what's happening. There are leads that are going, I promise you, to your competitors because they are not coming to you because your website is not doing its job. It is failing. There's no nice way to say this. 27, 29 is not going to cut it. You are losing literally. I know that word gets thrown around a lot. Literally, I've got kids that are in their 20s. They say literally every 5 seconds, but I'm serious. Literally, you are losing millions of dollars a year. And you say, well, but hey, we just built this website. Hey, it looks great. Hey, we get compliments all the time. People love this website, blah, 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 blah. You know what? If it's scoring a 27, you are losing millions of dollars in sales, millions, and you don't even know it. Like with the salesperson, it's easy to measure, right? They go out, they close 10%, they close 10%, they close 10%. You go, okay, great, I get it. You suck. With your website, you don't really know that it's performing as poorly as it is. So here's what you can do. I'm going to give you a chance to do this later, but I'll kind of preview it right now. If you want to take your little phone QR code thingy out, hit that on your screen right now. Or you can just go to level10audit.com and you could request. We will do this audit for you. We'll sit down with you after we do it. We'll go through it piece by piece with you for takes about an hour, a little bit more than an hour sometimes. And we'll show you how it's doing, how you could do better. So level10audit.com, or you can use this, this QR code. Now, I'm going to put this on the screen also a little bit later, but I wanted to preview that for you right now. Level 10 audit, you can fill that out right now. First come, first serve. So if you're one of the first ones to fill that out, you will have more likely chance of getting a time slot that you're interested in. Let's go to the next slide. So who is Level 10? What do we do? My name is Rich Harshaw. I'm the founder, author, CEO of this company. Been in business. This is my 30th year in business. In November, it'll be 30 years. I can't believe it. I'm getting old. Used to be a general marketing consultant, but in 2005 got involved in the home remodeling and home services industry, and that's been our niche for the last 19 years, literally 19 years that we've been specializing in this space. Here, let me translate that for you. We know what we're doing with remodelers, very, very much so. We've worked with some of the biggest, most successful companies in this industry, worked with companies like 1-800-Hansons, a lot of Renewal by Andersen, I mean, you name it, we've worked with them. Also, though, we work with smaller companies, help them grow. Our niche is kind of companies in about the $2 to $10 million range. We do work with some that are much bigger than that. We also work occasionally with some that are a little bit smaller than that, but the real sweet spot is about 2 to 10 million. And here's what we do. We're an elite level provider of websites and SEO services. So this is what we do. We make money by selling websites and SEO. I want people to understand that. Some people say, oh, this is a sales pitch. Well, this is how we make money, and I'm going to train you how to do it. I'm going to offer you an audit. And if you want to take us up on that, great. If you don't have to take us up on it. It's very simple. We also do advertising, digital, radio, TV. I think we're one of the foremost TV and radio agencies in the home improvement space. We manage somewhere in the neighborhood of about $12 million a year in TV and radio. We're really, really good at it. But that is not today's topic. I actually am doing a webinar on that next month. But for now, we're going to talk about websites and SEO. So Unlocking Unlimited Lead Flow, this is a book that I wrote. I'll be super honest with you. It's getting a little bit out of date. I need to update it, and I just haven't taken the time to do it. Still a good book, though. You can find it on Amazon if you're so inclined. Also, do a podcast every single day. The Level 10 Contractor Daily Podcast. It says over 1,600 episodes. I think we're up to 1,700 now. You can find it on any platform. Any topic on marketing that has to do with remodeling contractors, I have covered it on there multiple times. If you want to listen to this recording of this podcast, it'll be running sometime in the next few days or so on this podcast. So you can just listen to this again. You'll hear this and it'll be like Inception. You'll be like, hey, I'm listening to this podcast, and it's the webinar that I was on. All right, so let's get into the heart of the matter. Here's your website's purpose: to generate organic traffic and then to convert that traffic into leads. That is what you are trying to do with your website. If your website is not doing that, then it is a problem. Your website's job is not to look pretty. It is not a beauty contest. It is not the Miss America pageant. I mean, think about the Miss America pageant. It's like, oh, look, here's 50 women. Guess what? All of them beautiful, every single one. You can't show up and win just based on being the most beautiful. You got to show up and win based on all of the other aspects that we're going to cover. Okay, I'm kind of mixing metaphors here. We've got the, what do you call it, Miss America? That's over there. It's kind of a weird analogy. It's a little bit outdated, but kind of go with me on this. Your website has so many other things that need to be happening to make this happen, and I'm going to cover them with you now. So let's talk about Google's algorithm. Here's what website and SEO companies will tell you. They will tell you, Google's algorithm is very scary. It's hard to know what's happening because Google changes it all the time, completely unannounced, and we don't know why, and we don't know what's happening. Okay, let me tell you what is really happening. That is your website company and your SEO company covering their butt because they don't know how to do what I'm going to talk to you about on this webinar today. Think about it. I'm looking at websites, they're averaging 27 out of 100. Okay, who's building those websites? Well, it's not the guy that's, running the window company. It's the SEO company. It's the web development company. And they don't This is going to sound hard to believe. I'm going to prove it to you as we go through this. They don't know how to build websites and do SEO in a way that actually works. They don't. Well, that's not true, Rich. We've got a great relationship with our company. Yes, well, let's audit your website and let's see what happens and let's see if it's actually doing what it's supposed to do. And you're about to learn it right here. And I'm going to do it in plain English. I'm going to make it easy to understand so that anybody can understand it. All right, let's go. By the way, this little B here is for Bing, just to let you know, everything I'm talking about applies to Bing, but I will use the word Google because that is the #1 search engine by a country mile, okay? Here's how Google really works. This is the most important thing for you to know. Google does not rank websites. It doesn't. Google does not rank websites. Did you know that? No, of course it ranks websites. No, here's what it does. It ranks web pages. So the way it works is this. Somebody goes onto Google and they type in something to Google similar to this. Let's say that you have a bathroom remodeling company. Bathroom remodeling, or maybe bathroom remodeling near me, or how much should I pay for bathroom remodeling, or what's the best company to hire for bathroom remodeling? Some sort of bathroom remodeling related keywords you're typing into Google. Excuse me. And then here's what Google does. Google says, okay, out of the hundreds of billions of pages that exist on the internet, which pages are the most precisely relevant for both the keywords that were typed in by the person and, very importantly, also the geographic area where they want the work done. Now, Google's going to know your IP address. So if you're sitting in Southlake, Texas, that's where our office is. I'm actually in Utah, but if you're in Southlake, Texas, and you type in bathroom remodeler near me, Google's going to go, oh, near me is Southlake, Texas, and it's going to look for pages that are optimized, keyword that you'll hear over and over and over again on this webinar today, that are optimized for bathroom remodeling and also Southlake, Texas. If your pages are not optimized as such, you will have a very hard time showing up in search results. Okay, so here's what happens. People spend a ton of money, they build a website, it looks beautiful, they get compliments from their customers, from their family, whoever, and let's say that that website has 30 or 40 pages, we'll call it 35 pages. And then they think to themselves, okay, now my website is going to rank. I want my website to rank. Well, what do you mean rank? What do you mean my website is going to rank? That's not how it works. The way that it works, hang on, I got a little technology thing happening here. The way that it works is not just, hey, I showed up and I have a website. The way that it works is Google's going to look for the pages on all of the competing websites that are most precisely matched to the keyword and the geography. That's how it's going to work, okay? Your job then is to create pages that are very, very specific, that are as precise of a match as possible for what people are searching for. Relevancy is going to be the key. So think about this. I'm going to give you this analogy. SEO is like war. I'm not an expert on war and I'm not condoning war, but look, it's a good analogy. So here's what you got to do. You have to determine where you want to dominate, and you have to determine what you want to dominate. So we got geo and keywords. So think about this like a war. In a war, you don't just go fight the war. You know, like, hey, it's World War II. You know, my grandfather fought in World War II. He's 99 years old. He's still alive, 99 years old. He was only 16 when he went in. He served in the Pacific Theater. And here's what he did not do. He did not, quote unquote, fight in the war. What he did is he was assigned to specific battles. He fought in the Battle of Midway. He fought in the Battle of Iwo Jima, specific battles. And you've got to look at your SEO similarly. You've got to determine specific battles that you want to win, fight in and win within the larger war. Well, what are the battles based on? They're based on geographic areas and keywords. Okay, so we call this geo keyword pairs. Geo keyword pairs. I want you to take this phrase, geo keyword pairs. I want you to get a little tattoo gun. I want you to tattoo it on your forehead backwards so that when you look in the mirror, it shows up properly. Geo keyword pairs. This is a massively huge part of what's going to make or break your website in your SEO efforts. So here's an example. Roofing in Keller, Texas. That's a geo keyword pair. Tub to shower conversions in Chula Vista, California. That's a geo keyword pair. So your job is to create troops which are pages in the analogy, and put them into the battle. So here's a question for you. What do you think is better, having no troops in a battle or having a lot of troops in a battle? Well, duh, a lot of troops. Okay, next question. What do you think is better, having one troop in a battle or multiple troops in a battle? Answer, multiple. Next question. I'm asking these stupid, obvious rhetorical questions to make a point. What do you think is better, having a troop in the battle that is very well equipped? Like, think of my grandfather, flamethrowers, howitzers, machine guns, or troops that are not very well equipped? And the answer, of course, is well equipped. So how do we get well equipped troops? We'll talk about this as we go through this. Okay. There's 3 different kinds of pages on your website that you need to be aware of. There's actually more than 3, but there are 3 major kinds of pages. The first is what we call core pages. Okay. Core pages are on the main navigation of your site. I'm going to show you my screen. Hopefully you can see this. Yeah. So everything that's showing up here on the main navigation, services, see all these different services, these are going to be core pages. Why us? These are core pages. Resources, core pages. All of the stuff here is going to be core pages. Okay. This is when you build a new website and it's got 35 or 40 pages. Here they are. Boom, 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 boom. Got it? These are your core pages. They're very, very important, and they need to be optimized for, in terms of services. We'll go to bathtub remodeling, and I'll show you this. Okay, so this is going to be optimized for bathtub remodeling because this page is based on bathtub remodeling. And then look at this. It's optimized for San Diego and Orange County. Now, here's the key. These are core pages. This is a very broad geographic emphasis. In other words, we want Google to know that these core pages are relevant for all of San Diego in Orange County. Okay. Now, when we get into some of these other kinds of pages, we're going to need to be a lot more specific. Let me go back and show you. The next kind of page is service area pages. Now, these are kind of like core pages, but they're for specific geos, and they need to be optimized for specific geo keyword pairs. So let me go back and show you what this looks like. Okay, so I'm on sugarmansbath.com, and if you go up here, get rid of that little guy, you'll see this service areas thing. So I'm going to click on that. And if my internet will hurry up, come on, internet. All right, now you're going to see all of these different specific geographic areas: Chula Vista, Claremont, El Cajon, El Escondido, and so forth. And if I scroll down very quickly, you'll see that there's a lot. Orange County has some, et cetera, et cetera. So let me scroll back up to the top. Okay, now I'm going to click on Chula Vista, and here's what you're going to see. You're going to see that for Chula Vista, there are 6 different kinds of keywords: tub to shower, full shower, shower to tub, full bathtub, step through, and walk-in bathtubs. And if you click on any one of these, I'll click on tub to shower, here's what you're going to see. You're going to see a page, and let me show this to you. This is a little bit nerdy, but stick with me. Look at this, sugarmansbath.com, and then right here it says service areas. This is letting Google know, hey, this is a service area page. That's really important. Google needs to know that. It's an organizational issue that's important. And then look at this, Chula Vista tub to shower conversion. This is what we call the geo keyword pair. This is a very specific page that has been created. It's a troop that we put into this battle. Now, let me make sure you understand why this page exists. This page exists so that if somebody is sitting in Chula Vista, California, and they go to Google and they type in the keywords that have something to do with tub to shower conversions, that this is the page that will actually show up. They won't go to the home page, they won't go to the core page, they will go specifically to this page. This becomes a doorway into the website. Does that make sense? So let me go back to my presentation here. Service area pages, like core pages, but for specific geos, should be optimized for specific geo keyword pairs. And then these are going to be a major source of traffic. And then we've got blog pages. Now, blog pages, remember, there's 3 different kinds of pages. We've got core pages, service area pages, and blog pages. Now, if I go back to Sugarman's Bath, here's what you'll see. I've got a blog. Now, watch what happens on the blog. You go down here and you click on the best shower surrounds, and here's what you're going to see. This is a blog page. You can see that because of this blog directory right here. the best shower surrounds. And then here's what you're going to see. This is optimized for Anaheim. Okay. Now we can do these so that they're optimized more specifically. Let me go down and see if I can find one here. It's hard to see from these titles sometimes, but I'm confident. Here we go. 5 considerations for your shower remodel. And you'll see that this is optimized for a very specific geo called Laguna Hills. Okay, so the idea here, again, is if you're sitting in Laguna Hills and you type in to Google something about full shower remodeling, this page can then potentially show up in the Google results because it's precisely matching both the geo and the keyword. Remember, the geo keyword pair. That's how this works. I've got another website over here that I've got pulled up that we've built. This one's called Roof Smart. They're in Seattle. And you can see from a service area standpoint, if I go here, you'll see it's done exactly the same way. Mercer Island. If I go to Mercer Island, you'll see that we've got a page that is very specifically geared towards Mercer Island. Also, we can go up to the top. We can go to Jim's Journal, which is their blog. And you'll see that these are also going to be geo keyword optimized, okay? So the key here is to geo keyword optimize the service area pages and the blog pages so that Google has more troops that it can potentially engage with, okay? Does that make sense? That should make sense. Now, it's critical that the pages send the right kinds of signals. The pages must send signals to Google to let it know what and where it is so it can so Google can know where it is. Now, I'm going to put these on the screen right now. The page URL, the directories, the headers and the tags, the content, the image names. I know that this is some nerdy stuff, but let me show you what this looks like in real life. And if you're sitting there thinking, gosh, Rich, this is too detailed. Do I really need to know this? The answer is yes, you really need to know this. You don't need to master it. You don't need to pass a test on it. You don't need to be able to regurgitate it back to somebody later, but you need to have eyeballs on it and go, oh, now I get it, what that dude meant when he said it needs to send the right signal. So I'm gonna go back over to our pages again. Let's stick with Sugarman's Bath for now. And I'm gonna go to the service area pages again. We will go to, I don't know why this is taking so long. It's because I have a crappy internet connection. Okay, I'm going to go to Chula Vista again. This is a review. We've already been here. And then I'm going to go down. I'm going to click on this tub to shower conversion again. Okay, now here's what I want you to see. Now watch this. I'm going to go back to this thing that shows what we're trying to optimize. The page URL, directories, headers, tags, content, image names. Now watch this. Check this out. Right here, this is the geo keyword pair. It is optimized in the actual URL for this page. If you don't have the proper geo keyword pair listed in the actual URL, it's going to struggle. It's a signal that you're not sending that you should be sending. Now, you see this photo right here? I'm gonna try to save it. And here's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see what this page is called. This image is called Sugarman's Bath Tub to Shower Conversion, Chula Vista, California. We've optimized the name of the photo because this is a signal that Google's looking at and goes, oh, I see. Sorry, I'm about to die over here. I need a drink or something. The Google's going to look at this image and say, okay, this is another signal that this page that this image is on is relevant to tub to shower conversions in Chula Vista. Now, as I go down a little bit further, check this out. This is called the H1. This is H stands for header, 1 stands for first. It's the first header on the page. This is a really, that's 4 reallys important signal that Google is looking for to figure out, hey, what is this page all about? I know, let me look at the H1. It's coded into the page with the code H1, okay? So Google looks at this and sees, oh, transform your Chula Vista, California home, full bathroom, tub to shower, conversion. Oh, okay. And then if you come down here into the actual content, look, Chula Vista, California, have a tub to shower conversion. Okay, let's go back, let's review. The page URL, I showed you that. The directory, that's gonna be this service area page. It's important that you let Google know that this is a service area page. Then we had the headers and the tags, I showed you that, the content and the image names. So here's what's happening on this page.
We're using every opportunity possible to let Google know, hey, this page is relevant for tub to shower conversion in Chula Vista, California. So Google has a very, very good understanding of what this page is. So it's a lot more likely to show this page in the search results because we've optimized it properly for the geo keyword pair. Once you understand this stuff, it's not all that complicated. We do the audits of websites that major website companies that service this industry that everybody would know if I said their names, but I won't because I'm being polite, and they don't properly optimize their pages in many, many, many cases. It's really, really weird. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, I don't need to show you that because we've already done that. Keywords per page. Now, if your pages are properly optimized, Google's going to recognize keywords on your pages. The more keywords that Google recognizes on each page and then collectively on the entire site, the more chances you have for a precise match. If Google is not recognizing very many keywords on the pages of your website, it's because the signals that it's sending are weak or in many cases non-existent, okay? So what we want to make sure is that you've got lots of keywords that are showing up, and the way we do that, again, is to properly optimize the page, okay? Now, the more pages you have on your website, the better. So most sites begin with 30 to 60 core pages. Then you need to add service area and blog pages that are optimized for specific geo keyword pairs. Look, this is a process. So if you were in the Dallas area, there's 200 suburban cities in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So you have to make a decision. Which of these cities, geos, are most important to you in your business? It could be based on proximity to your office and your installers. It could be based on where there's money, where you've done business before, where you have a good reputation. But you can't just say, oh, well, we're going to optimize the whole freaking area of Dallas-Fort Worth and we're going to win everywhere. It's not how it works. Think about like a war. If you're fighting in Dallas-Fort Worth, there's 200 cities. Remember Iwo Jima, the Battle of Midway, all of that stuff? You've got to determine which battles are most important, and then you've got to create the troops and put them into those specific battles. The idea that you're just going to start showing up everywhere because you have a website is fundamentally flawed. It shows a lack of understanding of how things actually work. It's not going to happen. People ask me all the time, well, how long does SEO take, Rich? And the answer is, well, I don't know. How many troops do you want to put into the battles, and how many battles do you want to put troops into? If you've got 200 different possible geographic battles and you put 10 troops into each of those battles, that's 2,000 troops or pages. That's going to take a crap ton of time to get that done. So you have to start making decisions. Just like the war analogy, you can't put infinity number of troops into every single city and every single battle. You can't. You have to. You ever seen those war movies? And they got generals like World War II. They're standing around the map and they got that long stick and they're pushing troops around the map. That's what your SEO plan is like. It's like, hey, crap, where are we going to put these troops? We can't put them everywhere. We don't have unlimited resources. We have limited resources. So we have to be very strategic about where we put these troops. Where do we want to win? That's where we put the troops. You can start winning in places where you're putting troops very quickly, but there's also places where you're not putting troops where you're not going to win quickly. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. All right. The more properly optimized pages you add, the better chance you have of winning. If you don't have these pages, you will lose. So let's take a look. This is the sample audit that I showed you earlier, and I want you to pay attention. What I've done is I'm just going to blow up this upper right-hand section. Look at this. 38 core pages, 5 blog pages, 0 service area pages. I don't even have to do the rest of the audit to know that this website is going to lose. It will lose. It is not putting troops into the battles. It will lose to other websites in the vicinity that are putting troops into those battles. End of story. There's no way you can defeat a competitive website that is putting troops into those battles when you're not putting troops into those battles. It's just that simple. And you say, oh, well, that's not true, Rich. We don't have those troops and we get leads from our website. Great. That is the exception. You don't want to base your marketing strategy on occasional exceptions. You want to base your marketing strategy on, hey, let's figure out the best practices and let's go freaking do it, and let's do it the right way, and let's do it all the way. That's how you want to create a marketing strategy that is going to work. This right here, 38 core pages, wonderful. 5 blog pages, it's not going to do jack squat. 0 service area pages, you're going to get destroyed, period. That's it. I already know. Now look at this one. 41 core pages, 148 blog pages. Here, I'll blow it up on the screen. 137 service area pages, 27 case study pages, which are basically just blog pages, 354 troops in this battle. Look at this, 8,142 keywords. This is how you win. Now, there's this whole other issue that we're about to talk about here, okay? There's a whole other issue, which is make sure your troops are actually good, right? Remember World War II, my grandfather, howitzers, machine guns, flamethrowers. Okay, you don't want to send a troop of Boy Scouts in with a bunch of cap guns wearing flip-flops and cut-off jean shorts. That's not what you want, but you have to start by at least putting the troops in the battle. All right, let's take a quick stop here to talk about a couple of other sponsors or partners, as the case may be. First, we'll talk about RenoWorks. RenoWorks, this is a really, really cool product. I don't know if you're familiar with this. This is one of those visualizers. You put it on your website. Your customers can come in there and take a look at what their siding or their windows are going to look like before they ever commit to the job. It's really, really cool. It's going to boost your close rates up to 60%, upsells by 300%. RenoWorks Pro is what you need to check out, okay? It's an AI-powered visualization. Think of it like a digital swatch book that you can take everywhere with you. You can easily create photorealistic project renderings during appointments. And then homeowners can try on thousands of different products and styles and color combinations. It helps save tons of hours, lots of time going back and forth with the homeowner to finalize their design selection. So it's a powerful selling tool. Contractors report up to 60% spike in close rates and 300% surge in upsells. So to learn more about this, let me put the next poll on here so you can be filling that thing out. Let's see, boom, launch. Okay, you got the next poll on there. And if you want to learn more about RenoWorks, you can do it by clicking on the poll. Do it right now. Come on, do it. I'm waiting. All right, there we go. Good job. Or you can go to renoworkspro.com/level10. I believe they're going to give you $200 off the subscription if you go to the level 10. So it's renoworkspro.com/level10. Also, Altruistic Advisory. I want you to know about Brianna Hetherington, who owns this company. She is an old and dear friend. That's really weird to say because she's actually very young and I'm old, but I've known her a long time. She used to work for one of my clients. She started this company, Altruistic Advisory. They use a holistic approach to help companies, root in purpose and core values while remaining adaptable in the changing world. Here's what they found. Using studies from Harvard Business Review and Built to Last by Jim Collins, they help you grow a vision for the future of your company. They're going to teach you strategies to infuse your team with positive thoughts and spark creative flow. They've got helpful tools like the Altruistic Advisory Journal, ongoing mastermind groups, and they're going to empower you to create positive habits and encourage continuous learning and inspiration. Can help you create a clear vision and positive mindset. They also have quite a bit to offer in terms of lead generation and other tech stack kinds of things. Go to altruisticadvisory.com. I really encourage you to meet with Brianna Hetherington. She will blow your doors off. She is the most energetic person I have ever met. I met a lot of people, but she's just always on. She is awesome. You are going to love her and she's going to help your business. So go to altruisticadvisory.com. If you'd like to learn more about any of this stuff on the poll, RenoWorks, Altruistic Advisory, level 10 contract, there's a couple on there you can fill out. Hey, look, let me just tell you about radio and TV services. We are world-class pros at radio and TV, helping you to buy the right thing, helping you to be on the right stations, get better deals than you would get if you were going directly to the stations yourself. Also writing freaking amazing ads that move the needle, identity-based ads that tell your story. If that's something you're interested in, please click on that. All right. I'm going to close the poll and let's keep going. Yeah, there's our poll graphic, Pac-Man and not Pac-Man. All right, put more troops into the battles. Getting back to what we were talking about a minute ago. Let's say that your site has 50 core pages. Awesome. Like I said a minute ago, that's wonderful. Now, let's say they add 100 troops per year. Now, when I'm talking about adding troops, I'm talking about doing SEO, search engine optimization. And the main thrust of your SEO is to create geo keyword optimized pages that you put onto your website that are going to help people, that's going to help Google find a more precise match. If you do this, after 5 years, you're going to have a 550 page website, 550 pages after 5 years. If you did 200 troops a year, you're going to have 1,000+ page website after 5 years. The cost, I need you to think about this for a second. This is really, really cool. The cost, the money, the effort, it's going to cost you some money. But once you put those troops in the battle, once you create that Chula Vista tub to shower service area page, once you create blog posts that are specific to specific topics and specific locations, they're going to be on your website forever. Those troops don't go away. Think about that compared to other lead generation activities. And by the way, I'm not saying you shouldn't do other lead generation activities. Obviously you should. Your SEO and your website, though, should be the core foundation of your lead generation activities, because the money that you spend, if you do it properly, like it says on the screen, those troops are going to stay on your website for freaking ever. And they're going to keep working month in, month out, year in, year out, decade in, decade out. This is amazing. So soon enough, you're going to be undefeatable everywhere and for everything, because you're going to have so many troops that you're going to overwhelm. Think about this. Let's say that you've got a 50-page website right now, and you were competing against a 1,000-page website, company in your same area that sells the same kinds of stuff, window siding, roofing, bathrooms, whatever it is you happen to do. They've got 1,000 pages, 1,000 troops in the battle. Meanwhile, you've got your core website and no troops in any battles. They are going to freaking destroy you. Sorry, but they are. Just math and facts, okay? But you can start to compete. Might take you a while to catch up, but you can do it, okay? Now, let's go through the 20-20-60 rule. 20-20-60, there's no mystery with Google's algorithm. 20% of what's important in SEO is keeping up with the algorithm. 20% is geo keyword optimization. 60% is the quality of the content. I'm going to cover each of these briefly. Now, you might look at that and say, well, gosh, you've been talking about all this geo keyword optimization, but it's only 20% of what's important. Shouldn't that be higher? Well, if you look at a car, I don't know what percentage of a car is wheels, probably like 20% or less. But if you don't have any wheels, you're not going anywhere. Okay, so this is really important. We're going to get to this 60%. This is what's really important, is the quality of the content. But let me go through this real quick. Let's talk about this engaging content. Google monitors how humans interact with content. Content on your website has to be relevant to the search, so it actually is what the person is looking for. If you've got, well, let's just leave it at that. It's got to be interesting and engaging. It's got to be diggable. Now, here's what diggable means. It means it steers visitors to additional interesting content on your website. And then something called dwell time is going to go up. Here's what that means. That means people are going to stay on your website longer. They're going to stay on the page longer, and they're going to stay on the website in totality longer. So here's what you got to understand. Google is looking very, very carefully at how people are engaging and interacting with your website once Google sends them there. So you optimize your website, you understand the algorithm, great, awesome. Google then puts your link in the search results. People go to your website. If they don't like what they're finding, if they think it's boring and uninteresting and not relevant, and they hit the back button, Google's going to look at that. And if that consistently happens over time, let's say that Google sends 100 people to your given page in a month, and 85 of them spend less than 10 seconds on that page, Google's going to say, what's wrong with this page? People apparently people don't like this page. So here's the question for you. Why would Google continue to send people to pages that it knows, based on its metrics, that people don't like? And the answer is, it wouldn't. Of course it wouldn't. Why would Google continue to show people pages that it knows that people think suck? The answer is it wouldn't. So you've got to have great content. People have to actually like the content on your website better than the content on other websites. Now, here's a little tip for you. Ready for a little tip? This isn't that hard to do. You know why? Because your competitors actually suck at creating interesting, relevant content that people actually want to engage with. They just do. Okay, so we're going to take a look. I'm going to go back over here. So let me show you a couple things here. We are on the service area page. Now watch what happens on this service area page. So we've already talked about how it's optimized, but let's look at the actual quality of the content, okay? So this is actually interesting, good content. Our customers love our work. We've got some testimonials on here. Complete coverage delivers peace of mind. We've got links. This is increasing what we call the diggability, rock solid warranties. Wet area remodeling doesn't have to be stressful. Our 4-step approach. And we're giving people additional information. Now look what happens if you go down here. We've got this content widget, cost guide for a Fountain Valley shower to tub conversion. Make your Fountain Valley bathroom accessible with a tub to shower. Make your bathroom accessible. We've got recent posts. We've got case studies. All of these things are attempting to increase what we call diggability, helping people to dig through your website more. Also, we've got these internal links right here, 4-step approach. So if I go to click on rock solid warranties, here's what you're going to find. It's going to go to this resource page, which is a core page, and it's going to talk about their rock solid warranties. Okay. And then I can come down here while I'm on this page. I can say, I don't know, what's case studies all about? And I can say, 4 amazing tub and shower conversions. Let's see them now. Okay. There's 1, there's 2. And this is information that people actually want. Boy, that looks horrifically bad. Let's see what the after looks like. Boom, better. Okay, so you get an idea. Sugarman's down to the studs. I'm giving people stuff that they can continually dig through this website. That's called increasing diggability, okay? You see the same thing over here. If you go to any of these blog posts, you can see that we're doing the same kind of thing. It's interesting, relevant, interesting content. What do we mean by Egghead roofing installs? I don't know, let's see. Well, it means this. Here's what Egghead is. Only choose Eggheads for roofing specialty. We've got more things here. Case studies. Diggability. This is how you make a website that wins. So if we go back to the home page of this website, you're going to see that it's got, kind of a standard look. It's got good information. It's got identity information. But as you start digging into this, people are going to fall in love with this, and also Google is going to fall in love with this. Okay, so that's what I've got for you today. I would like for you, if you have any questions, to type them into the questions. I will stay here and answer as many questions as you have for as long as you want to ask them. And if you'll do me a favor and fill out the website audit, we will take a look at your website. We'll audit it according to the 3 different areas, and we'll spend about an hour on the phone with you going through it and helping you understand here's what you could be doing better. In some cases, you may need to look at getting a different website, upgrading your website, but please fill this out. And I'm going to spend time answering questions now. So let me get to the questions and we will go after it. All right. Getting the console up here so I can actually do this. All right, I've got a bunch of people who at the beginning of the webinar said who they are and where they're from. I don't have any actual questions yet. So if you've got any questions, please ask them in the thing right now, or you can raise your hand and we can talk to you. Either way, I'm not sure how you raise your hand. I'll give you just a couple of minutes to ask questions. If not, we will be done with the webinar. All right. All right, I don't have any questions. That's weird. I always have questions on these things. Okay, here's a question. What are some suggestions you'd have for modifying this for commercial janitorial service? Wow, okay. Okay, so here's what you got to think about. It doesn't matter what you do in terms of commercial janitorial versus residential roofing or anything like that. You've got to make sure that when people are searching, you've got troops in the battles that you want to be fighting. So you got to think in terms of geo keyword pairs. Okay, so Aaron, who asked this question, can you tell me where you're located? Just go ahead and type it in there again. Las Vegas. Okay, great. So Las Vegas is a little bit different than some places because it's got one huge area called Las Vegas, and then it's got Henderson, I believe. Not as many different geos. So it's going to be a little bit easier actually to do the geo keyword optimization because you've got fewer places, but you definitely will want to dig into the keywords, and there's some tools that you can use that Google has available. You can find these by Googling Google. And yeah, so you're going to create pages that are optimized against that, both service area pages and also blog pages. Should you go down to the neighborhood level within a city if you operate in only one city? Yes, for sure. Go to the neighborhood level. The more specific you are, the more precise you are, the better you're going to do. Because think about it this way, the more precise you are, the more likely you are to outcompete your competitors who are less precise. So if you've got a name of a neighborhood, I'm just thinking I used to live in a city called DeSoto, and we lived in a subdivision called Frost Farms. Okay, it's a subdivision. It probably had about 200 homes, not a very big subdivision. And if you were to optimize for Frost Farms, boom, that's going to pull in that specific neighborhood. Good. All right, thanks, Jenny, for that. Any other questions? If not, I'm going to let you go, and we're going to be done with the webinar. This does work. We just added GeoKeyword pairs to our SEO and photo titles. We have a lot more organic leads. That's from Pamela. Thank you for sharing that, Pamela. Yes, I am not just making stuff up and spouting it on a webinar. I'm telling you the truth. This is what we do all day, every day for our clients. I see that I've had several requests come in for the free website audit. So thank you for that. We'll be in touch with you guys soon. And yeah, that's it for today. Feel free to email me. My email is on the screen. You can call me, you can email me, you can text me, whatever you want to do. I'm always happy to talk to people. So we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, y'all. Bye now.